Welcome to Crushing 1L, a podcast about how to furnish your apartment with law firm swag. I'm Aaminah, I am a 1L at UCLA Law, and I'm joined by Abhi, a 1L at Penn Law. Welcome. Abhi, happy Halloween weekend. Did you do anything
Woohoo!
fun this weekend?
I did. We dressed up. We had a couple friends over in costume, and then we went to a house party with some law school friends, and then we just went out. The city of Philadelphia was just having such a great time. The whole city loves Halloween. Man, what a great time! What about you, Mina? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really celebrated Halloween, but somehow I got roped into multiple Halloween shenanigans this round, which was fun. I did some pumpkin painting. Last night I hung out with a couple friends. Um, On a separate note, my torts professor happens to kind of like moonlight as the mayor of West Hollywood, which West Hollywood is supposed to, don't quote me on this, but I hear that they maybe have the biggest Halloween celebration in the country. Yeah, the news reported they had like 150,000 people just in the streets of West Hollywood last night.
Oh,
And yeah, my torts professor
150,000
just
people.
yeah, my torts professor presiding over all of that as Batman. But no, like lots of stuff
He
happening.
dressed up as Batman?
He was dressed up as
That's
Batman.
so good, dude. When you're the mayor of a giant thing like that, you have to dress up as Batman. That's
Yeah, he
so good.
dressed up as Batman. I have a video of it. I would put in the show notes, but we never do that. So sorry guys, you'll just have to imagine it. But yeah, really fun stuff happening in the city. And also here in LA, it's World Series season. Dodgers are up. We're tied, with the Blue Jays at game 6. I think tonight is game 7. I'm not a baseball person, I'm sorry. But like it was just a very exciting time for the city. And I still have this to say, like kind of circling back to what we were talking about last week about finding friends, making friends in law school, being integrated in the social scene. Like, I just want to reiterate, there is so much social scene happening in law school.
So much, dude. So like you said, multiple events cuz and also like
Yeah.
everybody's so nice and everybody
Yeah.
invites everybody to everything and
Well,
every event generally
not
speaking,
everybody's so nice, but there are many nice people who
there's so
like
many
you can
nice
engage with.
people, and so you're gonna have texts coming in or party full invites coming in, and when you walk in, people are so generous and so kind. They go, "Hi, good to see you," and then you see your friends, and every place you go, you see more friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, don't worry about the friendships and the social situation, and
It's
also like
there.
yeah, it's there, and like the city you live in is also a community. Like,
Hmm.
if you feel like you're gonna feel stuck, if you're worried that you're gonna feel stuck in your law school community, I have great news for you. Like, the law school is not a bubble. You live in a
Yeah.
town or a city or a place with other people in it that also live there. And so
Right.
there's a whole community that kind of activates around these big events and stuff. So,
Yeah.
a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, like, and again, like, too, like, I mean, to bring it back to law school, like, law school does bar review. Like, I don't know how frequently yours does. Our law
Every
school does bar
Thursday.
review every Thursday. Okay, it's like a Thursday thing. I don't know why. I have Friday morning classes, and I don't appreciate that. But
Why do you have
if that's
Friday
you,
morning classes? That should be
because
illegal.
they hate us. I don't know.
They do hate
Um,
you, and we'll get to that in the second topic because y'all have stuff that we don't have. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm jumping
um,
the gun there.
yeah, but. They do bar reviews every Thursday. Halloween bar review was particularly well attended. There was like pre-games, pre-games, bar review. There's a bar review happening tomorrow
Yeah.
night. There's wait, no, that's tonight. It's Saturday tonight. So there's
Damn.
bar review happening tonight. There was
Wait,
bar
double
reviews.
bar review?
Yeah, but like this one was for an affinity group that's happening tonight.
Oh,
But like
got it, got it, got it.
there's just like so much going on. There's so much social stuff to tap into. So like really want to emphasize and reiterate like there is life outside of law school, there's social life inside of law school.
Yeah.
Like you will be fine. And it's fun. Like there's fun stuff to get into.
Dude, it's so fun. The house party last night, there was just a civil procedure book laying around. And so a couple of us just opened it up and I swear to God, the page that the book just naturally kind of opened to was the Erie Doctrine page. And so
Well,
that was a
just
sign, I think. That was a sign
yeah,
from the Halloween gods. The spookiest thing in Civ Pro was
by
the thing
far.
that the book wanted to show us. So no,
Do
there's
you
so
know?
much.
Wait, sorry. Can you like explain what the Erie Doctrine is? Just
Yeah, I mean, look, I can take a stab at it. I think it's a really complex issue.
I mean like but just like like your elevator pitch Erie
My
Doctrine.
elevator pitch for Erie Doctrine is it is a representation of federalism. It's essentially
Mm,
the federal courts deciding that they are going to apply state law. If there's a dispute between federal law and state law, they're going to apply the state law.
wow,
Is
just
that
got
correct?
I got a chill. chill in the
Is that
room.
correct?
I
I
don't
might
know.
have.
I
I
have no
want to be
idea.
really careful because it's like kind of a complicated. It's like kind of a big spooky thing. I will say it's kind of a big spooky thing.
Yeah.
I think I said that correctly.
I was just curious. I mean, like, I've definitely heard the term Erie Doctrine.
Mhm.
Our professor, like, mentioned it. I just, like, I don't really remember what it was. So, like, I just wanted to hear from you
Yeah.
what you thought it was and,
In
like,
a
see if that
nutshell,
sparked anything for me. It did
100%.
not.
And this is, and to be clear, like the only reason I know anything about like the attorneys that we work with at LSAT even, they've kind of explained this to me. So sorry, Matt and Aaron, if I'm butchering this, but yeah, in a nutshell, it's the federal court's deferring to state law so that to discourage people from forum shopping, essentially. If you want to forum shop and try to like go to a certain federal court because you think they're going to apply the law differently than they would in a state court in the same state, guess what? Like, surprise, the federal court in that state is going to go, sorry, buddy, it's the state law. Like, I'm not gonna overrule or override the state law of the state we're in just because we're in federal court. Is I think the gist of Erie Doctrine.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search and that feels right. But we got really onto like a tangent on that one. Sorry about that. But
How
yeah,
could it be a tangent if it's about the law? I mean,
so true.
I beg
So,
this
so, so true.
question.
So
No,
true.
but very cool. Like Hawaii, I was about to say Hawaii. Halloween was so fun. Halloween was so fun, so wholesome. So many cool costumes. Some legal
Mm,
themed costumes. Obviously, a lot of Elle Woods out,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and some really great. I think one of my friends dressed up as Falzone, the torch case, the zone of danger, where it was like a car zooming by, you know, and a non intentional or negligent emotional distress. So it's some very like creative costumes as well.
Yeah, that just reminds me. I dressed up as, I mean, I was part of like a set in my contracts class. I don't know if you've read this case for Lamont, but like it's basically this case about like a dispute between like the meaning of the word chicken and like this contract. So we were like chickens.
The
Yeah.
chicken case in our case book, the chicken case is like a note. It's like, hey, by the way, every contracts class in history has taught this case. Essentially, it's one sentence where it's like, isn't it funny that there's two kinds of chickens?
Yeah.
And I think that was a note before the peer. We did read the Peerless case,
Yeah.
and so like right
Oh,
before
oh,
Oh, you didn't read
interesting.
Peerless?
I think it's probably fit for us. Like I feel
Yeah,
like Fearless was more like of a note thing and then
yeah, yeah.
like
I think it's
yeah.
redundant to read both cases like in their
Yeah.
entirety because it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Essentially, folks, the chicken case is just like, oh, chicken means broiler chicken or like other kind of chicken.
Yeah, it's doing
Uh,
chicken. Yeah.
versus like the two boats named Peerless, they were both parties were talking about a boat named Peerless, but
Hmm.
there's lots of boats named Peerless, and so they didn't know, and so in fact, Peerless was not Peerless.
Yeah, it's like they
So
were trying to like get some shipments in and it was two boats going to the same location but in different months. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
Peerless did in fact have a pier.
Yeah. Again,
Pun,
we digress.
pun.
We
Not a
digress.
digression if it's about the law, folks. Happy
Uh,
Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, yeah. But yeah, good times to be had on Halloween weekend. But they are coming to a quick and abrupt end after this weekend because segue,
Segue, second
we
topic.
are moving into lockdown season.
Now, I don't like that you're calling it lockdown season because I don't plan on being locked down. But I mean, I
Oh
want to hear
yeah.
more about why you plan on being locked down.
Well, I mean, listen, am I going to be locked down? I literally can't be because, as I mentioned before, I will be at the LSAC Forum on November 15th in San Francisco.
They literally can't hold you back, dude. They
They
can't.
literally
They
cannot hold
literally
me
cannot
back,
lock you down.
which is, it's so funny. I feel like another type of podcaster like promoting their show, like, guys, come see us live. Like, but yes, I'll be there live. But why am I going to be locked down? I mean, so this is one of the differences I just discovered between Abhi and I, between UCLA and Penn. Apparently, Penn doesn't do a graded memo, but UCLA does. So if you're just something to know, UCLA does a graded memo. It's 40% of your legal research and writing grade. Like,
And that's another like, folks. Penn doesn't have a grade for legal research and writing. Our
right.
legal research and writing. First of all, we call it legal practice skills. Second of all, it's taught by amazing real life attorneys who have taken a break from their attorney careers to teach at Penn. And third, there are no grades. It's pass fail. So come to Penn.
I think ours is also taught by like an attorney who's
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
yeah, yeah. But in any case, so ours is graded. It's 40% of our grade. Um,
Sad.
and like, so we just, I think I can show you this because there's like no revealing information, but like, this is our fact pattern. Yeah,
Ooh,
take a look
thick,
at,
thick
yeah,
boy.
this is the fact pattern for this memo.
For people
Um,
listening to the audio only, Amina, would you say that's like about like an inch thick packet of paper?
you know what? I'll tell you exactly because
No way
I
do you
have
have
a
a
handy
ruler.
daily
No
ruler.
way do you have a ruler just
That's the one
on
thing I
you.
have right by
That's
me,
crazy.
unlike everything else.
That's
Um,
crazy. Yeah, it looks like roughly an inch, maybe just
Bobby has
short.
no idea how big an inch is. Just want
Just
to put that
short of
out
an
there.
inch, maybe half an inch. I don't know. Well, look, I'm looking at you through the freaking camera, so I don't know.
I'd say it's like a quarter
Oh,
inch.
okay. Well, either way, thick,
No.
pretty thick stack of papers.
Yeah, I'd say there's like 50 pages in here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so you said
But
that's the
I
fact
could say a lot of
pattern?
things. That doesn't mean anything. But yeah, it's thick. It's a fact pattern. So basically, like, um, again, don't know how much information I can divulge, so I won't. But this is just like the background of the case,
Hmm.
like just the things that the information we have to pull, like for so when we're making the arguments about who's gonna like which side has a better argument for which element or factor or whatever,
Hmm.
this is the information we're using. This is none of the case law that we'll be analogizing to actually make our arguments. So the way that this graded memo works, and Abby, I think you have, even though yours isn't graded, I think you have something similar. So I'd love to hear
Yeah.
about how your system works. But the way that our graded memo works is that we are going to be responsible for doing the research. So well, over this next week, we'll be doing research into the case law in the relevant area for the memo. Um, and then at the end of this week, we're going to be turning in our list of cases that we found. And then our professor is going to aggregate all of the cases our class found and just pick like a list. I don't know exactly how many he said, but like there's going to be like a condensed list of cases that we get that it is going to be the authority that we're allowed to use to actually write the assignment. So like not all of our cases are going to make it on that list. And our professor said that if we miss like something major, like he'll throw that in as well. But yeah, we kind of like we're a little bit on our own. Like we it's not like we're like not getting a list of authorities, but like we're also sourcing this list of authorities ourselves. So there's that. And then from that list of authority, then we're gonna go ahead and just write the memo. So I know I've been talking about my memos. The first one was 5 pages, the second one was 8, and this one is 10. And you might be thinking, like, 10 pages, like how are you gonna write 10 pages? It's really a matter of like how do I not write 20 pages? Like how do I not go too far in explaining this issue? Because
100%.
it is incredibly difficult to condense these arguments into that amount of space. You will see when you become one else. But yeah, that's like part one of lockdown season. And part two is of course that finals are inbound because we are almost near the end of our first semester.
30 days, baby. 30 days till
Whew.
final season. I hate to put it that bluntly, but that's the world we live in.
Yeah, like that's what it is. I lost track of what week we're in because my calendar still says week 6 from like back when I got sick. But
you haven't you, you haven't changed it since, brother. I feel like you've been sick for a month.
I didn't I have not been sick for a month. I've been sick for exactly 21 days.
we're getting close. You got to
We're
take
getting
some
close.
emergency or something,
I
brother.
have
Goodness
so
gracious.
many medications I have been prescribed. Um, but yeah, sorry. What were we talking about?
Finals inbound, 30 days. We're in the last month of school, roughly. And
Yeah,
yeah, crazy,
yeah.
crazy.
Finals inbound. But Abby, tell me about your memo and
Let me
what are
tell you
your final
about
season?
let
What's
me
your
tell you
final
about my
segment looking
memo.
like?
So, folks, come to the University of Pennsylvania Law School because, man, are we so well taken care of here? Our professors are awesome, as are, I'm sure, the writing professors at UCLA. I think most law schools are like have started to or have been already hiring like real attorneys to run these programs because
Hmm.
they actually know how to write memos. I love our professors, but they don't. They're academics. They're not attorneys. So,
Right.
so that's actually been really cool. Um, y'all are. I feel like you guys have done more assignments than this. So we had a closed memo that was due early October. And then we just had this open memo. We call it open memo because for the closed memo, we had a world of cases that we had to refer to. It was like four or
Yeah.
five cases that we had to write the memo on. That was shorter. It was a shorter memo, maybe 6 or 7 pages.
Hmm.
This one is, there's no page limit, but there's a word count limit. And
Hmm.
that's because our memo was an IP matter, so it included graphics and logos. And so our professors were like, hey, you can put the images into the memo if you want, but we don't want them to count against your pages, so we're going to give you a word count limit instead of a page limit, which
Oh,
is,
interesting.
a different way, a different but similar way of
Yeah.
limiting the scope of what you can write about.
Yeah.
But what's not limited was our research. So we are allowed, open memo, truly open, allowed to research any cases. So we had librarians from our law library, honestly, like library scientists, come in and explain how to use Westlaw and how to use Lexis and how to use Bloomberg, and essentially taught us how to research. And it was awesome because while the case was limited to the thing of the thing the case was about, it was an IP matter, and there's only a couple of things that you can talk about for trademark infringement. And we were given a circuit. We were given the 10th Circuit. And so that was a nice little limiting factor of, okay, we're looking at trademark infringement cases in the 10th Circuit. Okay. But within that, there's hundreds of cases. And so you can look at any number of cases you want. Some people read 20 or 30 cases for this memo. Some people only read 10. But like Aaminah said, the hardest part of this memo was keeping your arguments concise and limited to the word count, the page limit, whatever you like to call it. It turns out 4,000 words, really, really small, really, really short for a complicated issue like this. So a lot of my peers were really struggling up to the deadline. Ours was due last weekend. They're really struggling up to the deadline trying to get their word count below 4,000. Never thought I'd have that problem. In college, I don't know about you, Mina, but in college, I was like kind of struggling to hit the word counts for some papers and stuff. I was also an engineering major, so like I don't know how to read or write, and law school is very difficult for me. But in that sense, I just look at the shape of the words. But in engineering school, like in engineering projects, we just build stuff, and then whenever I had to write a paper for some other class, I was like, oh man, like what's the page limit? Is it 6 page minimum, 10 page maximum? Too easy, 6 pages, right?
Right.
And I was like struggling to hit the six
Right.
pages.
Right.
Man, I wrote like 4,500 words, and I was like, oh, I have to cut. I've never been in the position to have to cut 500 words from this, and also keep the arguments
Mm-hmm.
coherent. You can't do. You
Mm-hmm.
also, it turns out, you can't just delete pages from your arguments and then have the argument
Well,
still make
no.
sense.
Yeah,
So,
no. Yeah. I mean, that's something I was running into, like doing my memo yesterday too, of like I ended up like taking out these arguments that I'd made and then moving around some of the like organization of my paper, and I was like, oh, I just took this from one factor and moved it into this factor, but like when I did it in this factor I actually talked about different facts, so now I actually need to rewrite it because it doesn't make sense down here
yes,
anymore.
there's a context that you moved it
Yeah.
from that makes it less make sense. Yeah,
Pesky.
I
Pesky.
and these are the things where like I love that we had this exercise because we had to go through the process of doing our own research and doing our own writing and then cutting down the writing to be in an appropriate like format so that somebody could actually read and understand this stuff. But man, am I lucky that it's not graded. How on earth do you grade this?
Meticulously, our professor said he's very mean. Our memo is worth 320 points. Like there are 320 points to be had on the
Like
memo.
there's like a rubric,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so you have to like hit every. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because writing is so subjective too, right? Like I feel like two memos could be written very differently and both be very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just like it's that like there's points for like, did you get all the facts in? Like, did you hit the relevant arguments, so on and so forth. And then there are points for like style and format and structure and those sorts of things. But like the bulk of the points come, of course, from your discussion and your arguments. So like
Yeah,
in terms of just like, are you understanding and are you making the relevant arguments? Like that's really where you're gonna get the bulk of your points.
fair enough.
And then there's obviously that subjective element on top that factors in as well.
Thank
But
good.
yeah.
Oh, dude, points. We don't have a grade for this class. I think not having a grade really helps us actually try our best, which I think seems counterintuitive to some people.
Mm,
But instead of being stressed out about hitting all the points in the rubric, and instead of being stressed out about like what points and what's grade we're going to get, I think people actually got to take a stab at honing their writing style because
yeah.
there was no wrong answer. And so people just put their actual whole self into the memo and
Mm,
actually tried to find out what they would write like when if they were an attorney, which I
mm,
found really freeing. And so I got to experiment a little with my writing style. So I really enjoyed it, man. I love that it's not great. Like I love that LPS is not a graded class; it's a
yeah.
Pasco class. The assignments are just Did you do them or did you not? And so if you do them, you might as well just try your best because I don't know. Also, we're in law school, so like, why would you not try your best? I don't know, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
I
Maybe
mean,
I'm
like,
optimistic.
no, and I think I did experience that too on like my ungraded memos of just kind of
Hmm.
like, this is just like a feedback source right now.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
source of
just,
feedback. Absolutely.
yeah, just to learn like where you're at, like what you're doing, like, yeah, just get information on like how this process works. So it's like, even if it's bad, even if you think it's wrong, which speaking of feedback, oh my gosh, my writing advisor, bless her, she said, not only, she was like, yeah, like I was like, when I turned it in, I was like, I'm sorry that you had to read that. Like, I don't, she's gonna be like, I don't know what happened between this memo and the last one. And she's like, no, like you did a solid job on this memo and you actually improved. I was like, we're big city living. Like,
Yeah, dude,
we're
come
up.
on. That's
We're up.
huge. And I
Um,
think that's true of most people. Like, I think we're really
yeah,
hard on ourselves when we turn in a product. But then if you're an objective observer and you compare every subsequent work product to the one before it, there's there's bound to be improvement. I mean, we
gotta
learn so
be.
much from every assignment.
Yeah.
And yet, so glad that it's not graded, brother. So glad that it's not graded.
Yeah.
Folks, come to Penn. Come to Penn. Don't go to UCLA.
Yeah, go freeze at Penn or come to sunny Southern California where you can learn from the mayor of West Hollywood. Up to
Amina
you.
Amina has had
Up
bronchitis
to
for like
you.
4 weeks,
Oh,
so I
whoa,
don't
whoa,
know what
whoa,
like I don't
whoa.
know what the sunny fucking weather down in
That's
California is doing for her.
unrelated. Unrelated. That's just a personal failure. Don't blame that
Sure.
on the city. Don't blame that on the city.
Just saying,
Um,
just saying, brother.
uh, and I don't have bronchitis. What the heck? Actually, I might. I might, honestly. I might. But neither
All
here nor
right,
there.
neither here nor there.
Um,
Amina, we got a comment on Spotify, and I'm really excited about it.
yeah, why didn't you read it then? Tell us about
I can
it.
read it because I was really liked that we got it. Let me read it. This is from either Talon or T Allen 0024. Can't tell you guys how much I love this podcast and how it is preparing me. Thanks so much. You know what, T Allen? Thank you so much. Um,
Talon, yeah,
T
thank
Allen,
you.
Talon, thank you for leaving a comment. And I can't even imagine how high the bar is for you having to hit a button and then type out something and hit post. Like I actually, and that's not me being facetious. I think that's actually like I've never left a comment on anything. So
I also am not a big comment leaver, so
yeah.
yeah.
So kudos to you for leaving a comment. And folks, this is our just like public plead for more comments and questions. Like just like please don't be scared to leave comments. We love them. Every time we get an email, every time we see a social post, we love it. So
Yeah.
uh
We'd love to hear from you guys. We are very glad to know that this is having an impact because, like, I mean, Abby and I will come and talk. Like, we're happy to divulge our experiences in hopes that it's preparing you for your own. But, if you let us know that it is, that's awesome too. Like, we're here for you and we're doing this with you in mind. So, like, this is your space too. Like, let us know what you want to hear from us, like what's on your mind, how we're doing, things
absolutely.
things of that nature. We
Yeah,
love
if
it.
you're on YouTube, freaking hit the comment button. If you're on Spotify, I didn't even know Spotify had comments, but that's sick
Spotify
as
has
hell, dude.
comments.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Dude, we live in the future. We
Yeah.
live in the freaking future. Speaking of the future, whoa, segue.
Segue.
Whoa, that was actually a pretty good segue.
You nailed it.
Dude, speaking of the future, I mean, I saw this freaking article on Above the Law, and the headline is law students are forming AI student groups nationwide. And then the subtitle is how long until your law school has an AI society? This is by Chris Williams, and it was
Mm.
published on October 31st. Spooky, Chris. You published an article on Halloween. Spooky.
Yeah,
Um,
very dystopian.
very dystopian. Does UCLA have AI law
You know I
school?
don't know the answer to that question.
But like, I think they do. I think they
I
do.
think they do. I think they do. I feel like I saw something, like I feel like I saw an email from AI something rather
Mhm.
recently, and I was like, is that like AI, or is
Or
that
like
another
Allen
acronym
Iverson.
which I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with?
Yeah. Philadelphia 76ers legend Allen Iverson,
Perhaps.
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 We definitely have an AI student group. We have an AI law society, and also and so okay. This is my reasoning for why I think UCLA probably does too. Y'all had to use AI for your memo assignment.
That's so true. That's so true. I did
And
mention that.
and
Yeah.
so I think that there's a convergence here, and so did we. For the record, so did we. We were specifically instructed, hey, for your fact section of the memo, use AI. It's important that you learn how to prompt AI, learn how to give it materials, get output from it, and then be able to refine the outputs. And so they wanted us to iterate on a specific section of our memo using AI.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait. What do you mean for the fact section?
so when we write memos, we have fact sections where
No,
we
well, yes, but like, how did
well,
you use the AI for the fact
so
section?
so I get so how I used it was I gave it all of the I get that packet that you showed us
Yeah.
on video, and for audio
Yes.
we described it. It's a quarter of an inch, 50 pages. That was a PDF, and so I just gave ChatGPT. Also, the school has bought us ChatGPT accounts like for this purpose, and also for data privacy reasons. So we have like a closed server for Penn, and so I fed it the the facts, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I need, and then I also gave it my draft of the memo. And I was like, here's my memo. I need to draft a facts section. Here's the facts. Can you take a stab at this for me? And it was like, it was like totally fine.
Oh, interesting. That
Yeah.
is not how we're using AI.
Sad.
That sounds like more generative than what we're doing, which is like the way that ours is essentially like how AI is incorporated into our memo is that we have to use AI prompts, almost like using ChatGPT to be like, okay, like give me the cases in this area of law.
Oh, we did
Okay,
that
can
too.
you,
We did
yeah,
that
can
too.
you specify for these courts? Can you give
Yeah.
me more information on this, more like that, like prompting in that sense, but not like, can you generate this section and like, let's see what you pull out.
Yeah. 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 No, we did that too. During the research process, we also used it. Also, shout out to Westlaw AI. Westlaw's AI is actually really good. So if you
Hmm.
ask it a research question, it's comparable to ChatGPT, which I don't know if that's like complimentary or derogatory, but
Do you use Lexis at all?
I tried using Lexus.
Hmm.
I do prefer Westlaw's interface. I'm so sorry. Lexus, if you
Yes.
want to sponsor this podcast, I will reverse my position. I
Give
will
us
reverse my,
Lexus points and we'll take it back.
yeah, for 1 million Lexus points, I will be a corporate shill for LexisNexis. And that is my scout's oath.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, no, I prefer Westlaw's interface. What about you?
I also find myself defaulting to Westlaw. So, really quickly, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what we're speaking about, Westlaw and Lexis are kind of the databases that you will be using to do your research and like you do legal research in your legal career. Like it starts in law school, but in your
Yeah.
legal career. I think I may have mentioned in the last episode that um, I heard from our LRW professor that every search on Westlaw costs like $75 at some law firms. Did I mention that? Is this
I didn't, but that doesn't surprise me at all. Like these
yeah,
subscriptions are so expensive,
they're very
folks.
expensive,
Yeah.
but that's part of like why we do legal research. Like it's important to learn how to use these tools efficiently because they literally cost money. But in any case, in terms of like Westlaw and Lexis and their AI, I feel like I almost feel like I haven't really interfaced with Lexis's AI so much because I do use Westlaw a lot, but like I feel like Lexis may have a more established AI system. Like I think they got it earlier and like started messing around with it sooner. So I
Yes.
almost feel like theirs might be better, but I just don't know.
I think Lexus Plus, which is I think what they call their no, they call their AI Protege, I think.
Yes,
So
yeah.
Lexus's AI's name is Protege. And I think Protege is better at conversing with you about
Yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah.
Westlaw's AI is better at searching, doing research like dealing with your research question. So like
Interesting.
instead of being a master of all the Boolean search commands that you can put
Yeah.
into a search bar, you
Yeah.
can just put in plain English to Westlaw's AI, like, "Hi, I'm looking for cases about similarity of the marks in the Tenth Circuit,"
Yeah.
and it goes, "Oh, too easy. I got you. Here's like the 20 cases that you need to read."
Huh.
In that context, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
better at parsing the context of your research question and then giving you search results
Yeah.
that fit within that context. Versus Protege is better at talking to you about specific questions. So I think they
Yeah,
have
and
different strengths.
That's fair, and I think that's like kind of why I'm like, oh, like when so then I guess what I'm saying that that Lexus's AI is better. I more so mean it in the sense of that like Lexus is more like what we expect to see from AI, where like I think Westlaw's AI is called co-counsel, or
Yeah,
it might more function as actual co-counsel of like
yeah.
give me like relevant information,
Delegate
like
research to
yeah,
co-counsel. Yeah,
versus like let's have a conversation about like this thing I'm researching.
yeah. And I think
Hmm.
they both have their applications. But man, dude, it's so helpful. We live in the future. I love that AI law societies are forming at law schools, and I love that law schools are incorporating more AI into their research process. I think this is what and so I was telling you this offline the other day because me and I are also friends and we do talk. We don't just talk on camera.
Surprise.
But I was mentioning to you the other day that David Latt came and talked to us at our law school, and he was
Yeah.
the founder of Above the Law. But he no longer is affiliated with them, but he founded Above the Law. And now he does his own podcast, Original Jurisdiction. And he came and talked to us, and he was talking about AI a little bit, and he said there's pretty much three groups, three camps on AI. There's the people who are really, really excited about AI and they think it's going to change everything for the better. There's people that are really, really freaked out about AI and think it's going to change everything for the worst. And then there's people in the middle, and I think this is where he falls, and this is probably where I fall, where AI is just another tool
Hmm.
and it's going to revolutionize things in pretty significant ways, but ultimately it's not going to have a crazy impact one way or another. It's just going to make people more efficient. And I
Mm.
think the analogous thing to that would be Lexis and Westlaw. Before
Mm.
Lexis and Westlaw, you had to go to your law library. I don't know if you've ever read like a John Grisham book, like the old ones, like The Firm.
Yeah.
Also has
I
a
haven't,
movie
but
with
yes,
Tom.
I'm
Yeah,
familiar.
you familiar with it? So in the book, he describes Tom Cruise's character goes to his firm's law library to do research for a case.
Yeah.
So firms used to have physical books in physical libraries, and that's why you would want to work at a bigger firm because they had a bigger library, and you would have to go pull books, and it would take you hours. And then
Yeah.
Lexis and Westlaw happened in accordance, in conjunction with the internet and in conjunction with Google and stuff like that. So you could then search digital databases instead of going to physical libraries, and that would save each attorney like dozens of hours every day.
Yeah.
Did that make attorneys lose their? Did that put attorneys out of work? No. It
No.
just in
Work expands to fill the
Yes,
time you give it.
exactly.
So,
The work expanded to fill the time. And so now that attorneys were more efficient with their research process, they could just do more work. And so
yeah.
attorneys were just expected to do like four times as much work as they were before. I think that's, in my experience with using AI for memo stuff, I think that's going to be how the AI stuff
Does
works.
that make things better, folks? That's what I want to know. And like, so this is interesting because I feel like now we're kind of taking opposite sides from the sides we normally take. I mean, these are
Yeah.
still our sides, but like, Abby's very pro AI, and I'm like, I wouldn't say that I'm anti AI. I just like I have a lot of like issues with AI, and I feel like I mean like just what Abby I don't want to go on a tangent, but like just what Abby was talking about just now. It's like in terms of like the trajectory of like how history has gone and like this whole productivity conversation and like work efficiency and so on and so forth. Like, do we really benefit from having these systems of increased efficiency that make us work more? Is that necessary? Is like, and it's not just, there's like a bigger conversation about this, right? Like, it's not just that we're working more to do like the things that we're already doing, but it's like we're not re-examining our system, like our work system. So to say like, okay, we don't need people to be working like 1600, 1800 billable hours anymore because we have AI that can like make that job happen quickly. Like it's like, no,
Mhm.
you know what? Like now that the AI's come and like we can do the work faster, like now we need more billable hours. I don't know. I'm getting into like a bigger conversation that extends beyond
No,
AI.
I feel you. Yeah, it's a question of like economic philosophy, right? And this it's like, is productivity always net good? And
Yeah.
I would hesitantly say yes. And I think you would hesitantly say no. I don't think we're like strongly on either side because I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of nuance.
Yeah.
The reason that I might say hesitantly yes is that if you look at the average worker's like work week in 2025 versus in 1925, um, weekends are a thing. Going
Hmm.
home for dinner every night is a thing for most people. I mean,
Sure.
the average worker, right?
Sh- Okay.
The exertion at work for the average worker is lower than it was in 1925,
Hmm.
and workers are generally their standard of living and their quality of life is higher, and that's I think mostly due to technology.
Hmm.
And so I would
Hmm.
hesitantly say technology is always a net good.
Hmm. Okay.
But
I
reasonable
can't.
minds
I'm
can
not gonna.
disagree.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna comment on that because I don't have like the information to say. But like, I feel like I'm not like again not anti-technology. Like, certainly not anti-technology. Like, love
Yeah,
being
yeah.
in the future, all of that. But like, I also have qualms with like the implications and ramifications that like
100%.
technological development has resulted in. Um, that I won't get into right now because there it's like a huge, huge, huge topic. But
It is a huge
nonetheless,
topic, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really intimidating and it's really scary. And I also think we are a vulnerable population as attorneys and future attorneys
mm,
because attorneys work a lot. And
they do
asking this group in
famously.
particular to work even more because they've gotten more efficient, I think you're right that there's like a marginal, there's like diminishing returns on that marginal productivity. And also, humans have a max limit. And so, like, even with more tools, unclear how much more productive any of us can be.
Yeah. But I mean, we're going into the weeds on another side topic. And I think like what I want to leave this segment with is kind of just like in terms of like AI law societies, in terms of using AI in our research and like moving
Yeah,
moving into integrating it more into like how we are learning and becoming lawyers. Um, yeah, it's complex. Like a lot of people have complex feelings about AI, but like it's not going away for the foreseeable future. So like this is something that you'll be
yeah,
interfacing with as you come into law school, and something to just be on the lookout for, and have a heads up about, and you know, don't be
absolutely.
afraid. Like it's gonna
Absolutely.
be there. So like
Yeah.
take the opportunity to get to understand it and like understand your how you want to use it and incorporate it in your career.
And I think that's the benefit of these law societies at law school. So when you get to law school and you get an email or you get a group me notification about the AI group at your school, I would say, yeah,
Hmm.
go see what they have to say. The
Yeah.
article goes on to say like this is a large group of students, and they are hearing from law firm partners and academics and AI researchers themselves talking about the growth of AI and the future of AI in legal work. And a ton of schools, at least 16, according to the article, at least 16 schools have such groups, including Harvard, Stanford, University of Pennsylvania, can confirm, and I think UCLA. Most founded
I
within the
think so
past two
too.
years. As future lawyers seek, this is important, as future lawyers seek to understand the rapidly expanding technology and how it will affect their careers. So I think that's kind of what we've been saying. And that's definitely something that Aaminah and I both agree on. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool stuff. We live in the future, dude. We live in the future,
Woo!
and
Flying cars, love it.
everything's so sick. Everything's so sick. Everything's totally fine, and everything's better, and that's awesome. Um,
Mm. Everything is better.
everything is so
Everything
much
is better.
better.
Once again, Abhi and I opposing sides in many ways. Also, Abhi just says stuff to rage bait me.
I
Like
do, I
he
do,
does,
I do, I
he
do.
does.
All right. Shout
And I'll
out to
take
our
it every
editor.
time because I'll stand 10 toes down on my social justice stuff.
Shout out to our editor Amanda, who has to deal with me rage baiting Aaminah like for hours at a time.
Huge shout out to
Um,
Amanda.
yeah, but she does call me out on it too.
Yeah.
Sad. Okay. Aaminah, I think. Well, wow, the
Abhi.
legal word of the week.
Oh my
I'm really
gosh.
excited for this one.
Okay, well, do it. Take it. It's all you.
Well, okay, wait, should I read it and then you give the definition? Usually you read it and then I try to guess, but let's do the other
Oh
way.
yeah, no, 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 no. I'll do it. Okay, so our word this week is a very famous law term. I wish if you guys are watching on video, like the anticipation on Avi's face
I'm so
is
excited for this. I love this one, dude.
hilarious.
I love this
Okay,
one.
without further ado, our luau this week is res ipsa loquitur.
Res ipsa
Avi, you
loquitur.
know what this means, but like let's do a little Latin breakdown. Sorry, go
Res.
for it. Res.
Res is like
What is res?
something.
I
Like
think res is just
the idea or the thing. Yeah, the
it's just the word
concept, the
thing.
thing.
So,
Yeah,
okay, wait, sorry. Before we do that, like as you read cases and stuff, like you will actually start to get pick up a little Latin. Like you'll be able like res is a word that you will know. You will learn the word res, and I think it just
yeah,
means thing. So
yeah,
res.
yeah. So res is thing. Ipsa is, I think, the itself.
Okay.
It's like a reflexive pronoun referring to res. So the thing
Okay.
itself.
You did
And then
not get
look,
that from context clues. I just want to say that.
I also took 4 years of Latin in high school. So that
Oh,
is, I
oh.
apologize for that. I don't know if I told you that,
The
but
game
I,
here is context clues, Abhi, not your
my
background
bad, dude.
knowledge.
Anybody
So,
could have taken
yeah,
Latin. Anybody
not
could
the
have taken Latin.
reflexive pronoun. Like, we're not doing
Listen,
all
listen,
that.
listen.
So, ipsa, we don't know what ipsa is just on context
Okay.
clues. Thank you.
Right.
Next,
And then
loquitur.
loquitur, like that sounds like loquacious, like speaking,
Mm-hmm,
speaking.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so if you do happen to know what ipsa is, the thing speaks for itself is
And
what
if you
res ipsa
don't,
liquidur.
then you have like just the thing speaking, like a thing speaking, but it's like close enough.
The
Yeah,
thing
res ipsa
speaks.
loquitur. I did not pull up the definition, so I'm gonna do that now.
No
But Abby
problem.
just gave it to
I
us
did
because
just give
that
it.
is what it means.
The thing speaks for itself.
Yes, back to the Legal Information Institute. We have a residence there.
Shout out to
Um,
Cornell.
Shout out to Cornell. But yeah, res ipsa loquitur is Latin for the thing speaks for itself, and it is a principle in tort law that allows a plaintiff to meet their burden of proof with what is, in effect, circumstantial evidence. So,
Tough.
do you have any like examples of ipsa loquitur cases?
Yeah, so there's this really so in my torts class we read this case that to me exemplifies res ipsa and
Mm-hmm.
often we shorten res ipsa loquitur to res ipsa.
Yes.
Um, and one of the cases that really exemplifies res ipsa to me is this case called McDougald, and essentially the semi truck is just rolling down the street. They go over a railroad track. So many torts cases about railroad tracks, by the way, but
There are
separate.
so many.
Yeah, it turns
Yeah.
out that for a long time, sorry, this is such a tangent, for like at least 50 to 75 years, trains were just hitting people, dude. Just hitting people. But see, things are better. I mean, things don't hit people as many times as
They
they used to. That's an improvement. That's an improvement.
Thank God.
But this one doesn't have anything to do with the train. It just so happens that as they were going over the bump in the road for the tracks, the spare tire and the spare tire on semi trucks, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like driving down the road. It sits in this spot between the cab and the trailer. And if it's not secured, if you go over a bump, it can knock the spare tire loose, which is what happened in this case, McDougald. The spare tire got knocked loose, went under the trailer, and then there's more wheels that are turning and the spare tire went under one of the tires that were spinning and it launched the spare tire like a projectile into the windshield of the car behind the semi
That's
truck.
not funny.
It's a
It's not
little
funny.
crazy. It's a little like
It's a
what a
little Final
great
Destination,
exactly. No, it's
actually.
literally some torch cases, folks. Final destination shit. Like, oh, it was
Absolutely.
your time, brother. It was your time. Like somebody got hit with a barrel of flour. They
That's
just like
that's
that's
what
the
I
most
was.
famous
That's
one.
like
Bodel,
that is
yeah,
like the rest episode. That's one. I think that one is called
Bodel,
Burn v. Bodel, and that's
yeah,
like the res ipsa case,
yeah.
where
That's from
basically like
England.
the plaintiff was walking in a street, just walking down the street, past a shop, and then a barrel of flour,
just
comically, just a
just like
barrel
falls out
of
the window
flour
and just
fell out the window.
knocks him on his ass.
Yeah.
And so in these cases, like you're just walking down the street living your life and you get hit by a barrel of flour, or like you're just like driving on the road and you get hit with a freaking projectile launched spare tire from the semi truck in front of you. You
Yeah.
don't have any evidence to show
Yeah.
that the people that did that to you were negligent. You just got hit with an object.
Yeah, specifically, you can't have evidence to show
You
that
literally
it was the
cannot.
defendant's negligence. Like you just know it's the thing speaking for itself aspect of it is like, barrels of flour don't just fall out of windows. Spare tires don't just launch into
Yeah.
windshields. Like
Yeah.
there had to have been some negligence somewhere. So that's what res ipsa loquitur deals with. And that's that area of torts law. And that is our wow for this week.
God, I love Lowell. I would is it sad like Lowell is my favorite section, I
Yeah.
think. I
Is that
really
sad?
also
No.
love saying Lowell.
Yeah, you coined it. I gave up on legal wow pretty quickly.
I think you actually you gave me two options. You were like, we could go with legal wow or we could go with Lowell. And I was like, who do you
I don't know,
what
folks.
kind
Check the
of
tapes.
fool what kind of fool do you take me for? I'm gonna go with Lowell every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, but yeah,
Anyway,
that's our
that's
wow
Riz
this
Ipsa.
week.
That is Riz. Oh, and the tie-in. It was funny because Aaminah suggested this for the Lowell, and I was like,
Hmm.
dude, that's such a good Lowell because people, and then attorneys and judges and lawyers just say res ipsa loquitur, and everybody knows it. And it was literally a judge came and spoke to us on Thursday this week, and the punchline of one of his jokes was "Res ipsa loquitur," and everybody in the room laughed. So
Everybody laughed.
this isn't
We're
and
prepping you for your life.
and
Like
everybody
you're gonna need
clapped.
this.
Yeah.
You're gonna
And
need this.
everybody clapped. And then so it's like it's not just one of those like 1L terms that you're gonna encounter and then brain dump. No,
Yeah.
like judges and attorneys and 3Ls and professors and everybody are just like, oh, ha ha ha, res ipsa liquitor, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a funny little phrase. It speaks for itself.
It
Um,
speaks for itself.
and I think res ipsa kind of res ipsas.
But
So
we just did it just then, you guys. Come on, like this is what you have to look forward to. Get excited.
gosh. Okay. That's it for a little while. Next quick little segment, Crushing 1L, our plug this week. Use the ask button, folks. We've been getting, as more people use the Crushing 1L interface, if you go to the dashboard, you can use the Demon Recommends. It'll just throw you into a skill or a drill, and you can just do some questions. If you get thrown into a drill and you're like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here, it will, it makes sense. Maybe just go do that skill first. We're actually working on functionality. We're thinking it might be really cool if you do a drill and it's like a really hard, I don't know, crim law question, and you're like,
Hmm.
well, damn, I got this wrong because I don't know any crim law. Wouldn't it be cool if the demon was like, hey, you fucked this up because you haven't done crim law. Do you want to go do crim law? So we're working on that little pop up. So that should be cool. TBD. But in the meantime, folks, use the ask button. A few of our ask team writers for the LSAT side have volunteered to also like kind of help out with the Crushing 1L ask queue. So that's my plug. Use the ask button. It works just like normal. It works just like anything else. So give us your questions and we'll try our best to answer them.
Yep. Yeah. I I think that's it though. Like definitely use the Ask Bunny as those of you who have used Aspen for the test know it's incredibly useful. It's probably one of, if not the best features that LSAT Demon has to offer, and we've extended it to Crushing 1L. And we just have, 1L's back there, eyes stuck open, just typing away, answering all your
Yeah,
questions, free of charge.
AI being injected into their veins to make them more productive.
No, it's real people. It's real people.
No,
We
it's people,
remain.
but
We
like
remain real people. I want to emphasize that. Like, we are still real people.
we are people, but it's just like imagine if AI was like a performance enhancing drug, you know?
No. Um,
Well, yeah, that's all we got. That's it for this episode of Crushing 1L. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, leave a review, or better yet, share it with someone in your life thinking about law school. If you have a question, you can always write into the podcast. It's just crushing1l.com. It's crushing the number one and then the letter L.com. That's Aaminah. I'm Abhi. Until next time, keep crushing.